was a great movie. Another week bites the dust, though, huh? Another episode in, another dollar, another day
of being a Robin Williams professional stunt double.
Why did you say I look like Robin Williams, man?
You look like fucking... Like, dude, it's not a derogatory thing. Robin Williams is a fucking saint.
I take no offense. I was just like, I can't see it, man. Jumanji!
Nah. Jumanji. Is he doing Jumanji or something?
He was in Jumanji. You don't know?
Robin Williams.
He was in Flubber, Jumanji.
Oh, yeah, Flubber and stuff.
What's another famous one he was in, like, that everyone knows him for? I know he was in... Good Morning Vietnam.
Something.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, that's
That was a great movie.
There's another one as well.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Good Will Hunting.
Oh, yeah? Good Will One. Yeah, that was great. Actually... And Dead Poets Society.
My favourite pedophilic movie of all time.
Oh, really? You didn't...
Oh, my favourite. It's almost like a docu-series. It's so surreal.
It's almost like the real thing, man.
Yeah. No. Documentary purposes. Chris Hansen, go away.
Yeah, it is.
Heal, Chris.
There's always a line when you have to go get registered.
Oh, God. Oh...
yeah, man.
There's always a line at the kindergarten.
Not anymore.
That joke didn't land.
They're all just they all can't go home because of exposure sites and stuff. Like, there's no one at school. My bad.
The perfect time then.
Yes, that's it, man. Yeah, well, I've actually done a fair bit of, like, reading and stuff this week.
You've been reading a specific book, or...?
And, no, I wasn't reading a book.
Or like articles and...
articles more so, just for uni, and I had to look at, now that I mentioned lockdown and stuff, I had to look at this link for my uni, and they would have 25 people in that link, and they all did something during the pandemic, and you had to look up any one of these 25 people and then say, what did they do, what was their leadership style, and how would you like to, be more like them or apply their methods to your life. And the guy I was reading about was Jack Dorsey. At first, I didn't know who
Twitter.
Jack Dorsey was.
Yeah.
Twitter and Square.
Oh, the
Square,
website thing.
The mobile payments anywhere, any place.
Oh.
Just a little white square.
Yeah.
They also have POS machines. So Square, and I looked Jack Dorsey up a little bit, man. It's not... so
His girlfriend looks fucking hot.
He dates a lot of... They did say that he dates supermodels and stuff.
There's some Leonardo DiCaprio. or
But
DiCaprio.
doesn't marry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He also...
Because there's no advantage.
No, you'd lose half your stuff in divorce.
But like, in a way, there's no advantage for the woman, which you're creating an incentive by getting married at that level of like for like normal guys like us, regular men. There's not as much financial burden, necessarily legal ramifications for divorces.
Yeah.
At what we're worth, or even if we're just career men, ordinary career men, or work in a factory, or fucking work in an accounting firm, shit like that. And but like for someone like Jack Dorsey or Leonardo DiCaprio, you can't fucking afford that.
No, it wouldn't be able to. It'd have to be a sure thing. And on the other hand, how do you know they don't want you just for your money or your status?
Yeah.
Which,
apparently
is a
prenups
case.
can get just fucking snapped right open.
Prenups, they can find a loophole somewhere, or they can just say this wasn't valid, or you weren't of mental capacity. Contract law. So yeah, Jack Dorsey, he basically what I found in my in my research is he donated 28% of his net worth to a charity that focused on like women and the health of women and educating women, mostly would seem to be like in California, but it may be, this is obviously
the most underprivileged place in the world, California.
Most expensive place to live, California.
Yeah.
So he pledged like, it was like $1 billion, and he put up a public Google sheet on Twitter that anyone could go and track. And I looked the sheet up. I went into the sheet and I saw like some of the expenditures and stuff they were investing in, man. And like, yeah, some of it was like 300k here, 30k there, and it'd give a little description about it, saying this charity, you know, focuses on this thing and that thing, and this is why we've donated. And I thought that was awesome. And what I found interesting about Jack Dorsey was he's what did they call him? They called him like the second Steve Jobs, or the second coming of Steve Jobs. So basically this guy eats one meal a day. He wakes up in the morning and he
trims his beard.
He doesn't. He probably does, but he looks like a very neat Jared Leto. That's the best way I can describe him. Jared Leto with his long hair and his beard. He looks like
a psycho vibe from him.
Well, Jared Leto.
No.
Jack Dorsey. You have to have psychopathic.
Oh yeah, tendencies to be able to
be a CEO.
You're top level in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jack Dorsey had he wakes up in the morning, as we all do, and he hops into like a sauna and drinks like a blend of salt and lemon juice and stuff, and then like he has one meal that day. And this guy, who simultaneously runs two companies, is known for like going on retreats and disappearing for like a couple of weeks on end, and then coming back and
coke binges. No, I'm
kidding.
Then,
he's just so spiritual. I'm like, man, I love that. Like that is just being calm in all the chaos. Just taking, because you know, someone like Elon Musk, he says he's available 24/7. Sunday morning, 2 a.m., he'll pick up the phone when you call him and there's something wrong.
That's insane.
This guy takes 2 weeks to himself, which is so important, man. And
but again, he's the difference between him and Elon Musk. Like Elon Musk, I don't think is human. Like he's not.
He's South African.
He's
You can't be human if you.
Well, he's not. He's not a regular person.
No, he isn't, man.
Like.
Even when he talks, he like sounds like he's processing so many thoughts all at once to come to a simple answer. Imagine like taking him to McDonald's and saying, "What do you want?"
He is a fucking genius.
Yeah,
he's a genius that actually has the capacity to actually execute. He's genius.
He is.
That's insane.
But still, you know, like at the end of the day, is it all worth it? On one spectrum, he's progressing humanity. He's making shuttles of SpaceX. He's obviously cutting back on long-term emissions with electric cars like Tesla. He started financial services like PayPal. But you know, at the same time, he's had a kid recently that he named like a bunch of things, man. Like.
He has like 8 kids.
Yeah, but the most recent one with his most recent partner, he ended up like, they're not together anymore because he has a lot of fly-in, fly-out work. And you have to ask yourself, man, because the first thing I think about when I'm like, you know, going through some stuff and getting busy is the ones closest to me, friends, family, partners.
And that's why we wouldn't make it in that world.
Yeah, that's why you would have not to be human, man. Like, you'd have to turn off all your emotions.
Yep.
And you'd have to, like, be the kind of person that hopes that they're up at 2 a.m. with you for a phone call. Because you're probably working all night.
Oh, yeah, like it's their drive.
Nice.
They're but the thing is, can you manufacture or can you get to a point where you can become that driven?
I think at this age you can. You see, you and I, at the ages of 21 and 22, like, we're both single, we're both, you know, we have no expectations. It's okay to drive a shitty car, it's okay to have a job that pays enough to get by, it's okay to still be living at home. This is literally the prime time where you start thinking about, okay, I can pull an all-nighter tonight. Okay, I don't have work tomorrow, I can work on my stuff tonight. I can say, okay, I won't go out and see any of my friends tonight. I'll cut back on my spending this week and fund my side hustle. It's something that requires
Fuck my side hoe tonight.
no, just say you owe me one because I'm saving up for that that piece of software to launch my website. I'm getting that Adobe Cloud package. Oh man, so
That didn't translate well. No. I am deeply offended.
You are. My bad.
No.
Get over it. And
Time to roll on forward.
And yeah, there's like this guy that's been pursuing Jack Dorsey in recent times, anyways.
For like an autobiography.
He bought $1 billion worth of shares in Twitter, and he basically said that his name is or he was described as a quote fucking killer unquote by and his name's Jesse Cohn. And what he does is he's common to go and buy a lot of shares, a lot of seats at the board of directors, and then just any company that's undervalued, he just kicks the CEO off, or he just restructures the whole thing. And Jack Dorsey's next on his scope by looks of it. He's doubting his efficacy and his ability to run two companies. Although, what's interesting is...
It's pretty insane though, isn't it? That there's killers out there like that.
To get a quote celebrity, man. Like someone who's, renowned for being different.
Yeah, and it puts your name on the block. Putting someone like that on the chopping block. Someone that's built something that... Because, I think we undervalue... I don't use Twitter. But I think we undervalue the importance that it plays in our society these days.
Well, yeah, it's got millions, hundreds of millions of daily users.
But it's also interesting. I feel like it's an unfair reflection of reality, though.
Twitter?
Yeah.
How so?
I feel like it can be a breeding, like a breeder reactor of perspectives, and in kind of entrenching them and crystallizing them into different individuals and creating. These strong ideologies in individuals that can, become radical on any sort of spectrum, whatever you want to fucking call it, if you call it left, right, or
it gives anyone a voice. Which is dangerous. It's good to have a say, but not everyone needs to be heard. Everyone wants to be heard.
Everyone's voice is the same value of each other.
Yeah.
I think everyone can be heard, can say something, but the market will determine whether or not it should be heard, because what is heard is valued.
Gotcha. Yes.
And I think a lot of people don't have a lot of value. I don't think a lot of but at the same time, these people, just because they don't have a lot of value on Twitter, doesn't mean they can't make a car, or they're a good father or a good mother. Or they look after their parents. They're good people.
I think...
But it's weird when you think about it in this cutthroat world, like talking about, corporate takeovers, money, business, production. It's weird how good and bad fits together, and how, black and white it is. Because, you could call me a bad person, you could call me a good person. That's a hard thing to determine. It's very hard to determine. If you got all the facts, if you have all that person's thoughts, because then how you evaluate someone's thoughts? Do you evaluate them as who they are, or you evaluate someone's thoughts as what do you call it?
Well, how...
As just a thought, you know what I mean? A benign thought that you can either grab onto or you can release.
Well, how do you define anything good and bad a person does? So I'll explain. We were talking about Tesla just now, and first of all, you buy a Tesla and you have all this hedonic value, which means it's pretty much instant gratification from the use. So look at me, I've got a Tesla. Enough said. Yep. And then there's the utilitarian value, where it's both marketing terms, where utilitarian value is like, look at me, I am able to transfer from A to B I'm receiving gratification because it solves a problem.
In style.
In style.
Has a certain social credit about it.
My point now is that, sure, Teslas are good for the environment. They don't have emissions that they release when you drive them. You can charge them using solar energy most of the time. However, you think about, like the lithium that goes into the batteries that make these Teslas can only be sourced from a number of places in the world. And you have like
Argentina.
some lithium mines in Southern America where, in some cases, kids are working on those mines.
Yeah.
So if you buy a Tesla, are you supporting of that? Are you also, once the Tesla dies, can you recycle and refurbish the parts to make another Tesla?
So it's the same thing with iPhones.
Batteries, and so in one aspect, you're buying a Tesla because it's green, because it comes with status, and on the other, you're sort of funding and fueling
the thing that you're inadvertently supporting.
It's not exactly corporate social responsibility. It's not exactly doing the right thing, but it also is. It's a sense of hypocrisy.
Yep.
Everyone's a hypocrite, man. I can sit here and tell you that I support, renewable energies, but I'm, eating from a single-use plastic container.
Or smoking a cigarette.
I'm smoking a cigarette.
But yeah, I love cigarettes.
Man, I've been telling you.
You haven't been craving though.
I've been telling you. I've been focusing on just exercising.
Yeah, feeling good.
Eating correctly, going to bed on time, and something I think I think amongst maybe some burnout from work and study and stuff is I'm cutting back on a lot of bad foods. So I'm cutting back on fast foods, mainly for spending wise as well. You see, I'm trying to redistribute my money into investing either in myself or in savings or assets. Just something that I can make my money work for me.
Yep.
So, and I told you about this. I went back on my bank statement for like a quarter one time, and I ended up spending in that quarter like over $300 on alcohol. I spent a bit of money on McDonald's and some KFC, just fast food.
Yep.
And obviously the rest of it went to rent and groceries. And first of all, I spent about a third of my income on rent, which was an eye-opener. But that the amount I spent on, not even that I binge drink or anything, it's just like, it's either an occasion or it's just a bulk amount that I bought, like in a case of 24.
Yeah.
Or it's just a bottle of whiskey that lasted me, the quarter. It was stunning, it was staggering. So, and on top of that, cutting out fast foods and cutting out like unhealthy habits, cutting out sugar, smoking, drinking, like I'd be counterproductive. I'm spending an hour and a half exercising every time I do, which feels great. It doesn't feel great in the moment, but I look back afterwards and I see, okay, I'm seeing progress. I'm seeing some changes on my body. I'm seeing some toning. I'm seeing some, maybe I'm gaining weight but losing fat, so gaining muscle.
And it's an act of self-love.
It is 100%. It is 100% that. That is why.
And you only feel that afterwards. You look back on the day and you're like, you feel good about yourself.
I agree with that. That is why I'm so selfish with it, because when I'm done, I'm sore, man. Like the other night, I was like doing this like these ab crunch exercises, and I don't do a lot of ab exercises. And I was walking to my car when I finished, and I was literally bending over forward, and I had my arm on my stomach. I felt like I was hungry. I was that sore, and I was like, you know what? I'd rather have all this pain from the exercise that I've just done than have it from sitting uncomfortably on the couch for 3 hours watching a movie or two.
Yep.
When I got to bed that night, I crashed and I fell asleep straight away. And sure, I'm spending less time doing things that you would call fun, but I do enjoy this. This is me patching myself up, saying, listen,
or heroin's fun.
Keep the gloves off. Heroin's expensive though. And look what it did to Demi Lovato, man. No.
Oh, okay. What drug? Like, I 100% agree. Like, I personally, I need to look after myself more.
So
Because
what?
like for example, like with the cigarette stuff, like it's insane. I'm fucking dying for a cigarette. And I know it's I know it's bad, cancer, bad for your heart, bad for your constricts your blood vessels. It's
The
makes
whole
your blood
the whole
thick,
works. Yeah.
the whole fucking shebang. But I want to fucking inhale that deep fucking dark rich smoke.
Yeah, and it's funny how you have an expectation for it. You know, me included. You go, I know what it's going to feel like. I know what I'm going to be thinking when I do it, and you know what? I'm probably going to derive some value from it. But then afterwards, like,
Yeah, you feel shit.
yeah,
Or
as you do with most things, man.
well,
That own addiction, that is.
yeah. Well, the thing is that now, is that like I don't feel a shit anymore because when I do smoke, I smoke very rarely now. So like I'll smoke like one on the weekend. Like I think I'll always smoke. I think I will always smoke.
But I
But
have those little amounts over long times. Yeah.
like in Suits, the Hardman
Daniel
smokes a cigarette
Hardman. Yeah.
once a week. Oh my god, that'd be great. A cigarette, a coffee, and a glass of wine or a stout.
You know,
Nice strong stout.
one thing I do, I don't understand, but one thing I can like relate to is like if you're celebrating something, you sit back in your office or at home or wherever you're most comfortable, and you're just sitting there, you're having a nice scotch or a whiskey, and you're smoking a cigar, and you just go, "What a week!" You know, like the weirdest combination of things, smoking and drinking. You just go, "Yeah, I'm satisfied." That is what I've done with my time, and I've achieved something. It's time to sit back and relax. I was telling you the other day, like, when I do exercises, I like to have the guy that runs the gym, Laurie Butler. He's a world renowned powerlifter, man.
That's the old fella, is it?
Yeah, he's won like awards. His wife was like Miss Universe in 1999. Is Taylor Butler, like, man, right here in our little region. Like,
So you're telling me she's been a loser for 22 years? That's all I heard, mate. Pick the weight back up, doll.
man, they're still picking up weights.
Yeah.
And they give me this form that I have to, like what exercise I'm doing, how many reps
We are
I'm
not
doing.
responsible for if you drop dead because you're a fucking pussy.
Yeah, he just pretty much like have a little incinerator for all the bodies.
Yeah.
And it's also lifting at the same time, so they're getting an exercise.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And
They're excited, you're like, another one down. Woo! Yeah,
another weight lost.
Yeah.
And I accidentally, in one of the exercises, I accidentally wrote down the amount of reps I did for my next exercise. So I might have just done squats, and the following exercise would have been hyperextension or barbell or something.
Yeah.
And instead of writing down the amount of squats I just did, I accidentally wrote it down in the next section. So I was pushing myself already, and now I know that, okay, shit, I have to I wrote this down. I have to achieve this now. Otherwise it won't be true to him, and it won't be true to me.
Yeah.
So, interestingly enough, it worked. I achieved what I wrote down. And I did it on purpose the next time. And then what I started doing was I'm like, okay, so obviously I'm already preempting some achievement. So if I'm setting things in place for this achievement to happen, then I'll work even harder to get it.
Yeah.
Like there's this it's called a Cameron Smith Bundaberg rum that I got myself.
Gift. Oh.
I got it to myself because it's a select vat, so there's not a lot of them. It's like, I don't know how many they made, but it's a limited edition one, and every bottle has the VAT number on it. And like, I went and bought myself another one of those the other day. One of them is the one I'm going to keep as a collection piece. The other one I bought with the same intentions that as the time I wrote down my reps in my next exercise. I'm preempting some sort of success.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. It could be me graduating with high marks. It could be a personal business venture that's just taken off. It could be achieving a certain amount of downloads in our podcast.
Yep.
It could be whatever is huge to you, me, and Brendan. But I'm preempting it, and whether it's today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, it's waiting there, and it's gonna taste mighty fine.
Yeah.
Once we get to it.
Yep. Nah, fucking oath. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, you have to sometimes just have enough buckets ready for when it starts to rain, so you can collect.
Yeah, it's not the main thing that you're going towards, but it's something that you can look at, something tangible.
Steps.
You can
Baby
hang
steps,
on to, and okay. And I feel like you've got nice high standards.
As do you.
You've got nice high standards, so I think you'll know when it's right to open up that bottle.
I think so.
Bottle of goody goods.
I don't know what I'm gonna open it up for.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was telling you earlier, I was watching this video about Matthew McConaughey giving a speech at what looked to be a college graduation or whatever. It's a video I heard once before, a few weeks ago, and I actually watched the whole thing last night. And he said once he started...
Texas.
He said, like, after he stopped, saying to himself, I need this movie to enhance my career. I need this movie to be a success. I need this movie to propel me forward. He started focusing more on the journey. He started enjoying his acting more, putting more work into his characters, and just enjoying the process. And he says once he started doing that and enjoying the process, that's when the Oscars came in.
That's
the
when
awards came in.
All right.
Right.
Came in.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
Yeah.
How he said those simple lines is where he started.
Yeah.
And then to that I say, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
I love that. He's got a bedroom app, like not a bedroom app, a sleep app. There's like apps to help people sleep, and you play it while you're going to bed. And he is a voice actor for one of these apps.
Oh, it sounds like something off of Audible. Amazon.
I think it's a dedicated app. It's like a meditation app.
I saw Cillian Murphy had it. The guy that plays in Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
Good day. My name is Cillian Murphy.
Really?
Welcome to my sleep meditation app. I'm from Ireland. Yeah, he full on.
His wife is so ugly.
Well, he's not much of a looker either.
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's he's got the square jaw and he plays his roles beautifully.
Oh, dude, that's why I want a cigarette. I think that's why I need a cigarette right now.
Because all they do in Peaky Blinders is smoke.
Oh.
Me and my housemate, we played this game. So my housemate, he's
You gotta smoke whenever they smoke.
You gotta take a shot of tequila.
Oh, fuck.
Every time they smoke a cigarette.
Oh, dude. 5 minutes in, you're done.
There's one scene in Peaky Blinders, back to back, Tommy Shelby was smoking. First scene, he's walking in his workshop. You know, they got that automobile factory. He's walking through the factory smoking a cigarette. He then enters the office and immediately lights another cigarette.
Oh.
And then the scene following, he smoked, you guessed it, another cigarette. I just like the way... Have you noticed? He sort of rubs the brim of the cigarette on his lips, and then he...
Was it sticks?
Yeah.
He gets a look, and then it hangs. It hangs there. I tried that, it works.
Yes.
It's such a... You just walk around.
And that's like unfiltered cigarettes too, man. That was like the...
Oh.
They were like, the real thick, raw, proper tobacco back in the day.
See, I've stopped myself from buying patches, so I'm not smoking...
The actual pouches, what's the one you got? The American Honey or
American
Eagle?
American Spirit.
American Spirit.
I got Mandatow and American Spirit.
Yeah, man.
And I used to just roll those up, no filter.
And those...
Used to make filters, but then one of my African mates who I used to take lifts to work with.
Yes.
So like I'd be his lift for a bit because he lost his license for a while, a couple of months, and he'd roll me a cigarette every morning and after work, and then he'd pay for my fuel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was good.
That's good when that happens.
Yeah,
when someone
he was a good
returns
bloke.
the favour.
And he got me onto no filter. He could roll a no filter like bada bing, and then I can't go back. But now, so whenever if someone's got a pouch, I always fucking roll up.
Yeah, just grab a pouch off them.
Yeah, but oh my god,
I don't know what it is, man, but some part of me really wants to own a Zippo lighter. Just the sound it makes, and then
I don't
get
like
it,
the taste.
and then get it engraved and customized. Just that Zippo,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
sound.
yeah.
It sounds like a headshot.
Yeah, the hardiness. I do like the.
It's just the brand. That's all it is. But then I'm like, what am I actually going to light with the Zippo lighters? The candles I buy from Dusk. No, you're obviously going to light the barbecue, light the kitchen stove with it. No, you're going to light cigarettes with it.
Yeah, fucking
it's a slippery slope.
my
That's
God.
why I refuse to buy a Zippo lighter for myself.
Oh,
Because I know what that's going to lead to, man.
yeah.
It's going to lead to like a lot of consumption of the cigarettes and the bad goods.
Yep.
So I just veer clear of it.
Nah, like,
It's $50 a lighter too. I think I can justify
dude, it's $80
just using like a magnifying glass in the sun.
Bro, it's $80 a fucking pouch.
Yeah, but you were buying that American spirit stuff, man. Like the actual
Does last a while.
the actual really good stuff, man. Like
yeah.
the stuff that if I were to ever like become a chain smoker, not the band, however, yeah,
Dude,
I definitely get.
There's no chemical soothers in it, so you get all the fucking bite.
You get because you don't
You get
know.
all bite.
Because
It's great though. I fucking love it.
Because I was working with a guy who refused to actually get vaccinated because he wasn't comfortable having a foreign substance in his body. Like, I don't know where it's been, but he smoked like 2-3 packs a day. Like,
Yeah, you don't know.
where was the tobacco?
Yeah.
What's in those those filters you're smoking through? You know.
Well, even the shit I was buying, like I still don't know what's in it unless I grow it myself. I don't know what's in it.
It's illegal in Australia to grow tobacco, anyways.
It's fucking stupid, isn't it?
I think it's incentive to get people to stop smoking. It's less accessible, and you have to import it, so the tax goes through the roof. And because you go to any other country, first of all, like I remember when we were in coming from South Africa to Australia on the airport, my dad and my brother came and got me.
Does they both smoke? Does your dad smoke?
On and off. So he hasn't chain smoked for ever, man, which I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of him for that. My brother, social smoker, I dare say.
Yeah.
Not exactly a chain smoker.
Yeah.
So, mind you, he's a social guy.
Yeah.
So what does that say?
Yeah.
So the first thing they did when we were on the airport, obviously you go shopping. They went to one of the kiosks there, and everything is tax-free in that part of the airport, man. So like international zone, no taxes and stuff. So it's
the
actually
guy that made that up was a billionaire, wasn't he?
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what the backstory is. I should actually look into it, but yeah. So things are a lot cheaper because there's no taxes on them.
Yep.
And the first thing they went and did was they bought. I forgot how many packets of cigarettes you can bring in at one time, like maybe 2 each. So they, between the two of them, bought 2 packets of cigarettes. So that's 4 all up. And they wanted to show their friends in Australia, because I, at the time, didn't know this. But here in Australia, the packets don't have printing on them, apart from warning labels.
Wait,
They're not decorated.
Yeah.
Packets of Camels and Peter Stuyvesants.
Yeah, but like, do they take them off you when you come into the country?
No, you're only allowed to have 4. 2 each.
What if they're not plain packaged?
They confiscate them if you have any more than, like, if you buy a carton of cigarettes, they'll only give you 4 between the two of you.
Nah, you should be able to have a carton.
And you can't bring more than 2 litres of alcohol each.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. So, and that's the first thing they did was they bought this one whiskey brandy called Clip Drift, which is quite a common drink over there. You have it with Coke and some ice, and It's just people don't exactly have beers socially there. They do, but if you're having a barbecue, you'd have a nice tall glass of Coke with a bit of the clip drift in there. It's like a rum. It's like Bundaberg. It's a common drink. And then they bought these smokes to show all their mates because the packaging over here is just pretty average, pretty boring. And yeah, it's insane how the two different worlds actually work, man. Like all of us, our family, we went to Bali in Indonesia like 3 years ago for my stepmother's birthday.
Yeah.
And
so cheap.
I recall cigarettes it's very cheap there, man. Like cigarettes were also decorated really well, so none of this brown packaging with a dead guy named Brian on the front. And yeah, they were dirt cheap. I recall in Bali seeing two things. Power lines hanging very low to the ground. Overhead tangled power lines hanging very low to the ground.
Yeah, it's a very live environment.
Oh man, and
very lively. There we go. It's better.
And a lot of scooters, a lot of bloody scooters, man. Some of them have expired registrations. So on the scooter, on the license plate, it shows the month and year of expiration. So April 2022. For instance, some of these scooters were like
99,
2014, man. Like they're
oh shit,
and they were just parked. Rows and rows and rows of scooters were parked for hire, and everyone was driving scooters. And the people there just drove chaotically, but everyone knew what the system was. Like, sure, at first glance, it doesn't look like anyone's following a. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of unspoken, unwritten rules they use on the road.
Yeah. Kind of like an anthive.
I mean, at one stage, our tour guide, I hopped on the back of his scooter, which is something I wasn't supposed to do because travel insurance wouldn't cover an accident. Go figure.
Yeah, oh, fucking off.
And he was like it was nothing, driving in the opposite direction of traffic on the main street for fun. He's like laughing away, and I was like, yeah, this is great, but looking back at it,
you're like
why did I do that?
Yeah.
It's not high speed, like he was only going about 30 and the oncoming traffic was going 50.
And you got like a cigarette in each side of your mouth. Like,
man, I don't know what it was, but it's just, in some of the Asian countries as well, smoking is such a socially acceptable thing to do, man. Like China just smoke a lot.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay for them. What was I reading? About up until the 1930s, smoking was actually considered healthy.
Yeah.
Which probably explains why in a lot of those older movies, older based movies, like Peaky Blinders, everyone's just smoking away.
Fucking smoking.
Going for it. It's healthy. It's good for me.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Opens up the lungs.
Look at it today.
It still happens today. I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something pretty controversial, but I don't think, as a former bartender, and working in a liquor store and stuff, I don't think you should be able to sell alcohol to a pregnant woman.
Fuck no.
I honestly do not think that is, and sure you can argue it's not for me, it's for my husband or it's for a dinner party we're going to. I think it should be a matter of, it's bad for the kid, period. Whether it's you're buying it for someone else or it's actually for you, you should not be able to serve or sell a pregnant person alcohol.
Yeah.
Not based on their gender. I refuse an underage man, a 17-year-old person, male, I'd refuse because of their age and because it's not good for them. Yes.
It's different. Like, if it's in your backyard, I get pregnant ladies drunk all the time. They're easy. They're vulnerable. They're very emotional.
Yeah.
Their hormones are up in the sky.
And you can't control.
I'm kidding. I mean, I'm kidding. I don't
say, what are you getting on?
Yeah, no, I don't get pregnant ladies drunk and take advantage of them sexually because of their vulnerable emotional state.
No,
even though
that's pretty. That's.
Even though that would make logical sense. But it's not right.
I was actually just going to say, look, you can't, because the reality is someone could be buying alcohol for an underage person or for a pregnant person and getting them both drunk, and you can't control that. The only time you can control alcohol consumption is in an establishment like a pub or a club, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Whatever they do with the bottle they just bought and that they take home with them, it's up to them. It's between them and their God.
yeah. And whoever they glass.
Whatever they do with the empty container.
Yeah.
After a few.
Oh God.
It's one of those controversial things. I think it's controversial because it's a really sensitive subject. Like, oh, the pregnant women have less rights. Do they have less rights than normal women who aren't pregnant?
Well, wait. So like well, in a way, they have a different role. Like it's their choice to uptake that role. Like when you're pregnant,
100%.
you have a different role. You have to do things differently. There's things that you're required of.
Well,
to get the most positive outcomes, the most positive consequences, you're required for certain behaviours and actions.
Well, you're breeding life. That is a huge responsibility, man.
But
that is sacred.
But a lot of people throw that down the hill. You know what I mean? People don't think about that. People don't think.
No, she's pregnant.
And
damn.
The same thing from the male perspective. Like like sperm degradation is insane. Like the numbers on it are actually really interesting. There's a book, How to Be a Man. I think it's How to Be a Man. It's a really good book.
Okay.
And someone put it on to me when I was like mid-teens, and fucking amazing book. Like it helps you, like answers a lot of questions. It's a book for when you're at that place and time. It gives you a lot of answers.
We are about to like step into manhood and go from a boy to a man.
Yeah, I think it is called manhood.
And understand how to like treat people and how to deal with tough times and work hard and provide and put your best foot forth and.
Well, I think it was it went into all that family, being a parent, and this is very, very important. Like I think like education is so fucking massive. Like the person that gave me this book, thank fuck they gave me this book, because from my perspective, I was friends at the time. In my perspective, I thought they weren't caring for me.
Yeah.
But
why did you think that?
Because they weren't caring about my feelings at the time.
They were being harsh?
Yeah, they were being harsh. You should be able to do this, that, the other thing. And they are right.
High
he
expectations.
Is correct. Yeah, like looking back at it now, he was correct. It was again like I was going through a lot of shit. I was doing different stuff, and you're torn apart emotionally, and you've left school, and then you're going into the workforce, and you see ahead of you this massive commitment and responsibility, years.
Yeah.
Which is forever. It's 25% of my life at that point. You know what I mean?
It's not exactly a transition course between school and real life, is there? They just give you all this freedom.
School wasn't there.
Yeah.
School wasn't there.
And what
for me?
Yeah, no. And what
I'm retarded.
Gotta say, you couldn't put the triangle into
legally I'm retarded.
Yeah. Morally though.
Morally I'm a straight edge mother. No.
Morally, who knows, man?
Yeah. That's a coin flip.
Oh man,
but he in a way he really did care for me. He took the time. Because I was crying in his ute. I was crying in his fucking ute. It's like when you're at that age, this is the man. This is like a man's man. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You're fucking crying, dude. And you're like, now I'm crying in front of this other man. You know what I mean? Like I'm a boy. I'm a fucking boy here. I'm crying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think he knew it was going to go either way. I was going to keep doing it, or it wasn't going to go anywhere. But he really made sure I got that book and read that book, and that book helped me a lot. But I don't know the fucking title of the fucking book. But out of that book, sperm degradation, one of the facts in the book was about how, in age, how much the how much the sperm degrades over time,
So like,
and how much it affects the offspring. It's insane.
what do you mean by degrade? Like the sperm sort of
The
weakens,
so
genes in the sperm sort of just.
Yep.
So the longer you wait to have kids,
Genetic deformations,
interesting.
mental conditions, bipolar. I don't think it mentioned anything about schizophrenia, but bipolar, emotional management, like any of those sort of checks and balances, any of those sort of wirings were messed up. Like things got because it's old sperm, and because
Wow.
we're always left with. I feel like we're always under the understanding that it's always about the women's eggs. You know what I mean? Like
They have
she's
their
old.
fertile years.
Yep. But men have
Yeah.
their golden fertile years, even though we have a longer window.
Yeah.
We have a much longer window, and we can continually have children.
During that window.
Yep.
Yes.
But the likelihood of having genetically decent offspring is lowered as age goes on, so the sperm degrades. So it's just, the chance of you having the same sort of genetic outcomes different.
Yes.
The nature aspect. But, that nature and nurture. Like, what is nature? What is nurture? You know what I mean? In our nature, in our human nature, like children that get grown up with animals and dogs, and they walk on all fours, like that Russian girl. There's a famous case of this Russian girl that was neglected by her family, and she was raised by dogs.
And then she adapted to these dogs, I take it.
Yeah. Like she said, like she could only bark. Her vocal cords didn't develop. The language. The important sections of her brain didn't develop for language.
So she couldn't communicate.
She couldn't communicate
Like in English.
if she could only communicate to like a year 6 level. Like
Okay.
I mean, like she was like a 6-year-old level of communication.
Yeah, okay.
And I think these days she's like mid-20s.
Mm.
And it's
Raised
fucking,
by dogs.
yeah. It's one of those nature nurture things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At what point of us is it nature? What point of it is nurture?
There's this theory I saw once where
Big Bang Theory.
they... Well, it's another theory, that one.
That's a theory, yeah.
This...
I believe in Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, no, that wasn't a Big Bang. So like,
Big
the
hoopla.
theory was like, what if there was only one woman on Earth, and is just so let's say there's 3.5 billion men and one woman in the whole world, and what was interesting about this is they not only looked at the physical.
Isn't that just Tinder? No, I'm kidding. No, yeah, I'm kidding.
I'm looking for the one. Are you the one? I'm the only one, baby.
The only one.
Literally.
Yeah.
Aye, so...
My daughter of nature.
Yeah, it's like Adam and Eve, man. Oh, it's big. I thought it'd be bigger. I'm like, it's literally the biggest in the world.
Well, I guess the last one would be a Latina.
Yeah.
You gotta
that
be able to
outlast the rest.
Yeah, you gotta get... Yeah, exactly. You gotta get a couple of fucking... You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah,
wanna,
some BBWs.
You gotta
man.
diversify that pool as much as you can.
Big, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And then they looked at the...
Nah, or a Catholic girl.
Oh, yeah, the good ones.
No, there's Irish Catholic girls.
Yeah.
They fucking pop
The
out
good-
15
the good
at a
Irish
time.
ones.
That'd be perfect for us.
Good Irish ones, the red ginger ones from the small
Yeah.
villages.
Yeah.
Aye, and man, so like the theory here was like, first of all, the woman would most likely get depressed because she only has male perspectives on things. She doesn't have female perspectives on things, which is something the men would be, prone to as well. They don't have female perspective on things. They only have, because believe it or not, men are more productive in the workplace when they're around women. It's just something I have noticed, and it's a fact I read somewhere, and I just can't remember where I read it now.
Yep.
Just like you can't remember the name of that book.
Yep.
About becoming the best man you can be, and
I think there's an aspect of truth to that.
And I'm like, it's true because...
I think it... No, aspect. I think it is true.
Because, like, yeah, it's just like... I don't know, it's probably that alpha male thing where you go, oh, I got to impress them now, maybe they'll like me more. Even though they're already married, it's still subconscious. You go, oh, okay, cool. or yeah, you just they could be more organized. They could be there's all these pros and cons to it, or these making up of what you're lacking. So that's the aspect, and then if you get into the physical aspects of things, you know,
the domestication of man.
She could only.
I heard that from somewhere. I didn't make that up.
Yeah, the domestication of man, and she she won't even be able to repopulate the earth. Like she'd be able to have, you know, if she has one kid a year non-stop and she's only fertile for, assuming she's a young age, she could only have so many kids as well.
Okay, this is talking biologically. So we're talking about the Homo sapien.
Yes.
Again, this is controversial.
Okay.
I'm throwing away all ages. I'm talking about pure optimization.
Okay.
You're talking 14. So a Homo sapien female, 14 years old, I think it's like 12 to 14. That's when it starts.
Yes.
So they can start breeding.
Start menstruating and they start getting fertile.
And same thing with the male aspect of that species, the Homo sapiens. I think it's like it depends. Some are earlier, some are later.
Gotcha.
But I think the best outcome would be it'd probably like year out of year, every year.
Yeah, non-stop. One's out, another one's in.
Miscarriages as well. You'd have miscarriages. Would there be medical?
Yeah.
Would there be like a hospital there? Would there be doctors?
Well, let's assume it's in the modern world.
Okay, so there's all those resources available. It's a perfect female specimen of that species.
Yes.
Well then, let's go from 14 for like the average number. So, 14 till what's the 35 is where high risk pregnancy is for that species. But
Down syndrome and all sorts of complications.
Yeah. So and that's with modern medicine. So how many years is that?
It's
21.
Yeah.
So 21 different offspring.
That's considering every one of them was perfect. No miscarriages, no. You know, let's assume she wanted all 21. You have the pro-choice. You could just say, listen, I don't want this one. I want to take a break between kids because I've got 12 other to raise. Like, yeah, fair enough.
Well, if we're talking just to benefit the species, you need one offspring from different biological fathers.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
there's only one woman left, so that's the thing. You need as much genetic diversity in the pool as possible to stop inbred traits from developing. Inbreeding traits.
That also means that it's highly likely that a lot of races would die out. You'd find a lot of cultures.
It's only going through one funnel.
Bottlenecking.
Yeah.
You don't. And if you had to make your way to this woman, because
it's like the Mecca.
It's seriously,
they're all walking around the box.
Put her in the middle and I'm sorry, this is actually getting really bad. She's a breeding machine. That's all she does. That's all she'll ever be. And that's
Islam. No, I'm kidding.
And that's what
isn't that women to Islam?
And that's what this society is trying to move away from. They're not breeding machines. They're also they can do everything men can do.
Yeah.
But if it meant...
Wait, nah.
What? Put it this way.
What do you mean?
What if there was only one man?
I can't do everything a woman can do.
No, and
do you think so? A woman can do everything a man can do?
No, they obviously can't stand up and pee like we do.
We have now got Chinese funnels.
Not biologically, anyways. There are ways around it. And then it's like saying, "Oh, a man can get pregnant just like a woman." Like, oh, it's a good thing I have all these ovaries I can put to use now.
In theory, it's never been tried though.
Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger tried it in that one movie.
That came out great.
Yeah, totally blockbuster, man.
Yeah, but blockbustered his career.
But it's
I love that background. That's a great song.
Yeah,
fucking great song.
Blockbustered his career.
That's a blockbuster fucking song.
Yeah, it is. What if roles were reversed? What if there's only one man and all these women? First of all, I know I would get depressed because I don't have any male perspective on things.
I wouldn't get depressed.
I don't have anyone.
I wouldn't get depressed.
You're only thinking of
my dream.
I was gonna say you're only thinking of having sex with all these women, man.
Breeding everywhere. Yeah, just for the game of it.
Yeah.
It'd be fucked up. There'd be so much war.
All the child support. say.
Oh no.
And all the amount of women that would actually kill each other to like get to you. And
I feel like I'd get killed by women.
yeah.
If I was the only man, I would get killed. Like, the species is over. I would be murdered by, like, the women police
You
force.
wouldn't be... you wouldn't be able to...
They wouldn't make you a king, would they? Do you think they'd make you a king?
I don't know. I think they'd put you in prison because you're a pig and all men should be dead. And
If I was the only... Like, if you're the only man left, where would you run away to?
where would I go to?
Yeah.
Where wouldn't you find a lot of women?
It's the most hostile women are the US and Australia. Like, towards,
Men.
male counterparts.
I'd probably run to some traditional country.
Yeah.
Where men are still seen as the head of the house,
Yeah.
traditionally speaking. So you'd run somewhere like most of these countries are developing countries as well. So Africa, Indonesia, South America, really weird. India.
Oh, yeah.
What about Europe?
Nah.
It's not developing, but would
Northern
they?
Europe, they try and force it, but they found that it actually accentuates the traits that make us different.
Gotcha.
I don't know why we're trying to make each other so homogenized.
No,
Just we celebrate our differences.
yeah. The more you try and, like you said, accentuate and make us all equal, the more you realize, well, shit, we're all different.
Yeah, dude.
We're all absolutely different.
I'd love to have a Down. Like, if one of my children were Down syndrome, I'd be happy.
Well,
It's like a human dog.
what do you mean by that?
Like, I wouldn't want to sort out one.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I would be happy if that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a blessing, man.
Do you want to go for a walk? Yeah, I want to go for a walk. Dude, they're like a dog.
They're excited over everything.
Yeah, everything. They're always so happy.
Yeah. And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is something that you can
Such
learn.
peace
So
of light.
don't have any hate for anyone. Just taking the world as it is, man.
If you see like funny Down syndrome videos, they're just so sweet. They're so sweet. And when I'm old, you know what I mean? I'm an old man. And I've always got my loyal dog there.
No.
I'm saying that in a positive way.
No.
I'm not using dog in a negative connotation whatsoever. I've got my loyal boy,
Dog.
or I've got my loyal girl who's going to look after me.
Yes.
That sounds weird,
Well,
but
they'll return the favour, that's for sure.
I don't know. That's
You don't have to sleep with one eye open.
I'd like to retire.
I was going to say, considering where we are in life at the moment, doesn't everyone?
Yeah. No, I mean like.
Man.
Yeah, nah. Actually, nah.
I tell you what, I have no intentions of retiring, as in stop working.
Yeah.
I have intentions of quitting the workforce, be it at this age or at the age of 65 when you are supposed to retire.
67.
It goes up every 10 seconds.
Fucking immigrant. No, I'm kidding. No.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Trying to get my fucking hopes up. 67. Abbott years, bro.
Just 2 more years and you can put it all on red.
Oh no. Dude. I bet you there's people like that.
Oh yeah.
Dude, they don't even get to that point, man.
Like, I'd leave the workforce and work for myself. Even after I retire, man, even after I leave the workforce and stop working, even if I'm at the age where I physically can't work anymore,
do something for yourself.
I'd still have some side hustle and some income and some whatever. I just too busy. I just cannot relax, man.
I'd do drugs.
Yeah,
I'd do drugs.
Celebrate every day. Celebrate every day, man.
Oh, I'd try things out.
Gotcha.
I'd love to try out opium.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen that in Marco Polo and Peaky Blinders. That looked great.
Feel the pain.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I did. And how it's apparently a big trade and...
Oh, yeah, opium worms.
Yeah.
I actually watched a video on it last night. Really so interesting. So fucking interesting. The industrial military complex in China and how it corrupted the Qing dynasty. I think it's because the Qing dynasty, which are the Manchurians, so the northerners. I won't get into it. I'll blabber on about it for fucking ages. I don't even really understand. I know the basics, but pretty much a military industrial complex developed in the country.
Nice.
And there were they were filling up their numbers essentially.
Yeah.
So they were paying for all these soldiers, but they were just pocketing the money themselves.
Gotcha.
They're paying for all their supplies when the
They
supplies
just
weren't there.
Yeah, they just
Yep.
they were forging receipts, and invoices,
Yeah.
purchase
Yeah.
orders.
Ledgers and shit. Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Like to the tone of like, in the equivalent, there was one Asian fella in China back in the 1800s, and he could be, the estimation was, it's hard because Chinese history is a bit,
Obfuscated, would you say?
I think, yeah, it's strange. Like, the sources aren't as, I don't know. I don't know if I just don't know as much about Chinese history. It's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother world.
Yeah.
And like Asian history, but I don't know. Like I don't know. It's just weird. Like I was watching a guy, an archaeologist on it, and a historian on it. He was talking about how in China history is strange. Certain things are distorted.
Yep.
For political purposes. So trying to distort what actually did happen in history. No, I'm not talking about Tiananmen Square stuff like that. I'm talking about like actual, like hundreds of years ago.
Yep.
Or thousands of years ago. Like like massacres of Jewish populations in China.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Yeah, dude, it's insane. Like, bro. Like, I was watching this on a video last night. There was like this massive population of Jewish people that were silk traders, and they developed a community in China, and they the government at the time, this is the 1800s, they flooded the basin of all the towns. They flooded and destroyed the whole town, and there was no archaeological trace of that community afterwards.
No way.
And that was a big Jewish community in China.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Just to get them out, because they're probably better at business.
So another Jewish Holocaust.
Jeez.
There you go.
No one knows about it.
And then you know how we got the issues with the Uyghurs today?
Yeah.
In the Muslim Uyghurs?
Yeah.
Apparently, that's happened a lot in Chinese history. There's been many massacres of Muslim populations in China, in Chinese territories, or tributary areas.
Alienate them.
No, massacre. Not alienating, massacres.
Because they're different.
Yeah, genocide. Like, and I mean, like, it's just part of history. It's a part of history. I'm not saying that's what Chinese people are. I'm saying that's the history.
That's what happened.
But again, like, you look at, like, fucking Europe, I'm part German, There's many bad things, like the German raids and the Roman Empire, shit like that, the Holocaust, all that sort of stuff. It doesn't mean that I'm a part of that. The culture that I come from was the cause of what happened in that part of the history. It doesn't mean I'm the cause of it.
No.
I'm just the children of...
The children.
Yeah, I'm the children. I'm the children.
Yeah, man.
What was I fucking talking about?
Oh, we were just going to end the show.
Okay, yeah, fuck yeah, we're ending the show.
Yeah, man. We'll, hell, it's been another pleasure. Like, we're, again, so many episodes deep, and more to come. Too many.
Seasons deep.
2 seasons deep. Look at us go, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, more to come.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
Exciting times.
No, I always enjoy doing this with you.
You too,
it is
man.
fun.
And then one time we'll get Brendan up and running again.
Fuck yeah.
And just get the old gang running.
And let's get these
band.
fucking lapel mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's sort out some mics, man.
Yep.
Let's make it mobile.
I can't wait to hear that soothing fucking...
Windy sounds.
No, actually, we should fucking... Brendan definitely needs to be a voice actor.
Yeah, his voice is actually
use him from stuff.
on flick. Do voiceovers.
Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah. Kind of like David Attenborough. And now he does the dance to attract the mate, the female mating partner.
David Attenborough.
Yeah. Alright, on that note then, brother. Bada bing.
Bada boom.